And I guess we'll find out in a couple of seconds if it is live through Restream or not.
Click. You go over here.
I just got a notification.
Oh, I just got a twinkle on my phone.
Yeah, notification should be.
Yeah, I think it's going live.
Yeah, it's live here.
Love your background, Al.
Thank you. It was specifically
we are here
for the guest host. There it is, folks. There it is.
Yep, we are now live. That's good. It says, "Hooray! The chat is now open for messages."
Yes. We've been live for an hour and 4 minutes, by the way.
Huh?
Oh, you beat me, Jim. Jim, you beat me by a couple seconds.
Yeah, darn it.
We've been live for 1 minute and 15 seconds now.
Okay, now I have lost everything on my computer. I can hear y'all guys, but I can't.
Uh-oh. Well,
I'm afraid to touch anything from
I know.
here.
Let me see if you're on.
Oh, I got it back now. Here we go.
Welcome to Let's Set Up Shop with Russ.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. We're on,
what a fiasco.
Yeah, you are on YouTube, by the way. So I'm checking.
All right, what a fiasco. Yes, I don't know if it was what happened, but we lost power here, and it was out for like 35, 40 minutes. And I think, Paul, didn't you call me? Paul?
Yes, Paul did call you.
Yeah, I seen Paul called me, and I headed out to the shop, and I'm like, well, dude, I can't do anything about it. We don't have no power.
And you are live on Twitch also, by the way.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I don't know what happened here. For some reason, we lost power. And I'm just now getting everything set up. And here's the thing. It's a kind of a process to go through to get everything set up to get to the show. You think it would just like push a button, turn the computer on. No, I've got to go through Restream. I've got to go through StreamYard. I've got to get all those things set up to get there and get going. So, and then I have a computer over here that I'm used to usually monitor stuff, and it ain't monitoring nothing now because I ain't even turned it on. So,
and live on Facebook also.
Okay, good. So we are live out there. So
I got 14
people. I
people.
guess now is the time to say, welcome to Let's Talk Shop with Russ. Even though we're about 10 or 15 minutes late. Like I said, sorry about that. And I don't even have my glasses on. So I'm blind in one eye and can't see out of the other. So
you want to use mine?
Oh yeah, we're live.
Richard is in there, right, Richard? You're right up in there, right, Richard?
I'm down at the bottom.
Oh, you're down at the bottom? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I thought you were up on top.
No, he's down at the bottom. We'll keep him out of sight and out of mind for a while. So anyway, so welcome to the show. Sorry, we had a power outage for some reason. I'll repeat myself again. I have no idea as to why, the rhyme or the reason, but I was in. You know where Moses was when the lights went out?
Oh, geez,
where was Moses when the power? Where was Moses?
Where was Moses when the lights went out?
Down in the basement eating sauerkraut.
No, in the dark.
Oh my God!
I was going to say Georgia.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, Moses was in the dark when the lights went out, so it's where we were. So we're just now getting all set up. All right, real quick, let's get this going. Sorry for the fiasco, but my sponsors are Devobal Technologies for web design, development, hosting. Visit devobal.com. FastCap, innovative product for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. Rockler, 60 years in woodworking, create with confidence. Visit rockler.com. Bearwood Supply Company, your best choice for hard to find woodworking supplies. Go to bearwood.com. gmail.com. Clings for the sanding specialist, woodworkingshop.com. Seiko, the scroll saw specialist, seiko.com. And people have informed me, and I've tried to get a hold of him. And Scrollnado is disappeared off the face of this earth. And I even talked to my friend Steve Good, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So they were on Amazon, but not no more. They've just disappeared. So if you hit that little bell thing up there,
Ding, 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 ding.
remind you when we have a new show. If you haven't already,
Subscribe.
don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up down there. Don't forget that too. Thumbs up.
You look like the
subscribe.
coyote and the roadrunners behind you, and you're holding up these signs like yikes. Help.
All he's going to do is look up.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go get my glasses here in a second if I have to break free, because I guess I can see good enough.
We can give you the show, Russ. You can go get your
Yeah.
glasses.
Jim Russell is out there on Facebook. Jim Bashirs is out there in YouTube. Frenzy Wicked Truth, Jim Dockrell, Dan Ingerbritson. They're all out there. I can see that much. I'm having to strain to try to see who was all out there because I forgot my glasses. So, Jim Bashir's bowl blanks. What the heck is that? Bowl blanks.
You're too far behind to catch up. Just keep going.
Oh, keep on going. Okay. Jim Russell's.
Jim Dockrell's out there. Michelle Marcoux.
Okay. Thank you.
Hollywood Shop.
I appreciate y'all all for being out there, because when I came out here, I was in such a hurry, I forgot my glasses to bring them. So I'm lucky I even could be able to start this stupid thing. So
Go get your glasses. Go get them.
I'll go get them in a second. So what I'm going to do is I am going to introduce the first person, and then they can chime in from there on out and introduce themselves while I go get my glasses. And the first person on my list is Brenda. So Brenda, tell us where we can find you, and take a while, and everybody else introduce themselves one at a time. Hold your hand up, you know what I'm saying? And I'll go get my glasses so I can see the damn screen. So
Oh,
Go ahead,
it never takes much for me to take the floor. I'm Brenda G. Brenda G's Designs, and I'm glad to see everybody this evening. And hello to Richard. Glad to see you're out of the brink. And just so you know, I did mail your Dragon's Eye yesterday morning, so it should be there first part of the week. And you'll find me about any place on the internet if you look up Brenda G's Designs. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I got a YouTube channel where I do a live stream on Thursday nights called Mind Equals Blown. And I have that feller you may know called Matt Hawes as my co-host there on the show. And I aggravate him mercilessly every week. That's my main hobby these days, is seeing how much I can aggravate him. So you want to tune in 7 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. They're on the Brenda G's Designs channel. I also do some comedy there on the channel. At least that's what people tell me it is. And it's called Heifer Haven's Free Advice. Now, I said it was free advice. I never said be good. So you tune in there and you can get you some free advice. And I also have a bunch of craft videos up there on the channel, so you can check them out if you want to learn how to make some stuff. And we'll turn it over to Al.
Al Forte, Odessa Woodworking Maker Shop, Kilroy 79763, all over the place. Just type in Kilroy 79763. It'll come up all over the place. I do woodworking, 3D printing, CNC. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, really master of none. Javi says better than most, but that's still to be determined. But anyway, I stream 2 p.m. Sunday, 2 p.m. Central Sundays on Twitch, and also have Odessa Woodworking Maker Shop on YouTube. And it's a pleasure to be here, and look forward to roasting Richard. I mean, that is what we're doing, aren't we? Anyway.
No, we're not going to roast his ass. Come on.
Okay. You were. Oh,
And the first
Show.
the first one says something about a boat and water is out of here.
Brenda,
Which just happens to be
I've
you.
got notes.
Yeah, it's the first one that says anything about that is out of here. Don't even go there.
But aren't boats supposed to be in the water?
God, here we go.
Just part of it.
I'm only going to give this warning once. So,
I'll tell you
Dixon.
what, Russell, just let them get it out of their system real quick. Go ahead.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Dixon,
Dixon
go
Hoffman.
ahead.
You can find me at Hoffman Signs and Decals. And I do a lot of 3D printing. I have a small 3D print farm and laser cutting and just about everything. If you need something built, I can build it. But I'm slowing down because I'm getting ready to quit in a couple of years. Jim.
Jim Bashir is
Go ahead, Jim.
okay. Driveway workshop. I'm kind of like Dixon. I've got all kinds of toys in the shop that I play with. Looking forward to talking about Richard's Windows, I guess, tonight.
Yes, there is a secret behind that.
Yeah.
He's
And
made
we're
a
gonna-
couple of them. Yeah,
we're gonna
I love
start,
I love Al's background. That is cool as crap. So, Paul.
Paul Corliss, Paul's Messy Workshop. You can find me on YouTube and on Instagram. And for those that don't know, I just wanted to throw out there that Dave Gatton had a massive heart attack yesterday. And today he had on YouTube that he has to undergo a quadruple bypass,
Wow.
but they have to wait for his heart to get a little stronger before they can do it. So he's asking for thoughts and prayers. So
Yes, you sent me anyway, you sent me that on Facebook or whatever, and then put it out on the we have a private message just for all of us that's on this show, and Paul posted that on there also. And I think you tried to call me. Sorry, I didn't catch your call at the time, but yes, wow. He had a major, I mean, when you first told me that, I was like, really? Dave Gatton had a heart attack? And then obviously he's had a heart attack for sure. And I would just like to say to him, I know our friendship for some reason took a different course in life, but there is one thing I would like to say. My thoughts and prayers are with you, my friend. I hope and pray that you get better and get well soon. I mean, something happened between us, and I'm sorry that it did, but in the same aspect, I wish you no ill thoughts, ill wills, or any way, shape, or form, and I hope and pray that you get well soon. So,
Amen.
he has to go through a quadruple bypass, is what he posted.
yep.
Wow, that's a major situation there. So, yeah. And I would like to ask you all, any of y'all who are out there that do believe in our Lord Jesus Christ, our Savior, and God, our Father, to say a special prayer for him. I would appreciate that. So, yeah. David Gatton was a good friend of mine, but things happen. But I hope and pray that he gets better. We do. So I guess it's everybody except the guy that backed the boat into the water and his truck went along.
You're gonna get yourself kicked off the show that way.
Yeah, we're going to ban ya.
My
That's
name
a
is
bad one.
Richard. I'm with Dodge Truck Submarines. The business venture actually fell in the water and the business sunk. There.
Calm.
Everybody, yeah, all right, Al. Yeah, beam me up. It's Jordy's
Yeah.
fault. You know,
Here's the thing about it.
it.
What was it, 3 or 4 years ago? I said I thought it was longer than that, but come to find out, it was only 2 or 3 years ago that we met each other. And Richard does a old
God, the best.
TV program that was originated. What was his name? The originator of Dr. Paul Bearer was
Dick Bennett.
Dick Bennett. He had a program called Dr. Paul Bearer, and every Saturday afternoon he would do creature feature, and he would do some horrible old movies. There were a lot of them were black and white back in the day. Well, hell, when I grew up, we only had black and white TV. We didn't have color, so. But he did that, and then Richard came along, and after Dick had passed away, and he came along and recreated the personality Dr. Paul Bearer, and it did that for quite some time. But I guess because of the COVID was during that period of time, it never took off, or it was never evolved into something any bigger than that. You want to elaborate on that?
What happened is I never did the filming alone. My assistant would drive over from St. Pete, and in February was my last appearance. And after that, the lockdown happened, and I shut my shop down for 5 weeks. And back then we were all very scared of it, so I would not do any filming because I didn't want her to possibly bring anything in to the studio that I would take home to my family, and vice versa. I had to open back up, so I didn't want her to come in, and by chance, if I had acquired it, I didn't want to give it to her. So with that said, the funding, I never did a fundraiser or whatever, and I just can't afford it anymore. So I'm probably going to lay it to rest.
Yeah, he's probably going to lay it to rest.
But that's a pun. He's going to lay it to rest.
That's right.
Yeah. The other thing that I was astonished about is that you're also probably you're trying to sell your appliance business. In other words, that's pretty well.
Well, I mean, the market is so high right now. If I can get what I can get while I can get it, because it's I don't want to get political, but it's my thinking that the market's going to crash again. And with business down and everybody doing their shopping online, I can't afford to keep it up and running. So I've been doing it 30 years, and honestly, I'm quite tired of it. So, if something were to happen to me, what would my wife do? She wouldn't know how to shut the business down or anything like that. So I'm just going to do it and get me a normal job, because that's going to be that's going to be the only thing we can do. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I can't go buy any 2x4s or plywood right now. My goodness, it's too expensive.
Oh, you got that right.
I'm just going to mow my yard twice a week now.
Yeah. What I would pay $2 to $3 for, I think 2x4s got up to around the $3 mark here 6 months ago or whatever. Now they were like $8 and $9.
$9 a piece.
Plywood
Yeah.
too is like $60.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yes, 3/4 inch plywood. I had a friend of mine send me a picture the other day. 3/4 inch plywood is hit almost $80 a sheet.
So
I mean, you're kidding me, right? I don't know what the hell has gone wrong. And my son, Cameron, which a lot of y'all know him, he's been on the show before. He used to help me with scrolling with Russ and everything. I was talking to him because he is a supervisor for he's one of the supervisors for a very big, prominent housing industry that builds houses. That actually last year they built 3,500 homes in the state of Florida, and he's one of their supervisors. And I asked him, how the hell are y'all continuing to build? And he goes, well, a house that cost $80,000 last year is now $100,000.
They
just
pass it on to the consumer.
Yep. And I
What else
said,
you gonna
really?
do?
And he goes, yes. And I said, and they're still selling? He goes, we can't build them fast enough, Dad. They're still selling. So I'm like, wow. So, I have no clue as to what the heck is going on with the price of lumber. It's like I thought when that ship crossed the Suez Canal that blocked it off where they couldn't get ships back and forth,
Yep.
that might have been part of the reason that the lumber went skyrocketing. And wasn't that a big fiasco? This big, huge ship runs aground and blocks a canal that is the major thoroughway from the all the way around Africa. In other words, and I was thinking to myself, well, why don't they just go ahead and go around Africa and come back? That's like a extra 3,000 or 4,000 miles that they would have to travel around because that one ship's blocked this whole canal up. And I'm like, really? So yeah, it was quite an ordeal. They've now moved the ship, and I guess they're continuing to flow through or whatever. But that wasn't. It was like a big comic thing that this one ship blocked the canal, and they showed a picture of like 40 or 50 ships sitting out there waiting, trying to get through this little canal, and I'm going like, wow. So they finally got it moved or whatever. So I think we've all already introduced all of ourselves. So, but Richard's on tonight, and he made a set of windows for his I want to call it a shop, but it wasn't a shop. It was a thing out back, and did such a good job on it that he was actually contacted by a movie studio to make another set so that he could use them in the film. And Richard, go ahead and take it away.
Oh, okay. Well, I've always loved the style of a Dutch colonial with gambrel roof, and when the Amityville Horror came out, they had those windows, and they really highlighted them to be the evil part of the haunted house. The original house had them. Before I go too far, does anyone know the backstory on the Amityville Horror?
Go ahead and tell us.
No. Okay, back in 1974, a young man by the name of Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his entire family in the house in Long Island, Amityville, saying that he heard voices and the voices told him to do it. Well, then they wrote a book about it. It became a #1 hit movie back in, I think it was 1979.
Yeah, the early 70s, yeah, late 70s, yes.
They then did a second prequel to the movie, and then a third one, and then it kind of fizzled out, and then a lot of amateur people started making more movies with the Amityville title. But there was the Amityville Island, the Amityville, The Evil Escapes, Amityville The Dollhouse.
Yeah.
And the idea was that all of these objects were in the original house, and somehow the evil possessed those objects, and people would buy them, and then they bring them to their house, and then the evil would escape, and and all that stuff. Well, my friend AJ Smith, who's done a few movies, contacted me and said, what would it take to build them? And I said, well, time, money, and
Nothing.
If
so
you
I
got
said,
the money, honey, I got the time.
That's
Typical.
right. So anyway, we got talking about it, and he says, nobody's ever done a movie about the windows. Now, let me backtrack just a little bit. After the movie came out, the city of Amityville in Long Island hated it because so many tourists and paranormal, groups wanted to do, little ghost hunts and all of that stuff. Well, they were lined up in the streets and they were chipping paint off the house and pulling weeds, and they got tired of it. So they did two things. They took out the quarter moon windows and put regular windows in the upper loft. And they also tried to change the street address. It didn't work very well because there's all these pictures of the original house with those silly square windows. So we often wondered what happened to them. And through internet research, apparently there is a gentleman posing with one of the windows who says that they are the original ones that came out of the original house. And we started thinking, isn't there a movie involved here? So we started writing the movie, and it's really taken form. So I went ahead and started building the windows, and I wanted them to be the actual size so that they could be imposed up on the side of a, let's say, a barn with a gambrel roof.
Right? Yep.
And yeah, I see what Al's doing. Let me know. Now, that's not the original movie house, but you know, I understand where you're going. But I took still shots, and I saw where James Brolin was standing in front of one of the windows, and he was roughly 6 feet tall, and his head was almost to the peak, and then his waist was there at the bottom. So I just kind of guesstimated him and came up with 48 to 52 inches. And so these things I built, started, and it's just all, jigsaw and circular saw and router. And I just got the plywood, started doing a little bit of math, a little bit of engineering. And so I built them. And I've got a lot of photos if Russell will tell me how to share them.
We'll get to that.
Oh, there's nothing to it. It's really easy, Richard.
Paul is an
I'm listening.
Yeah,
look at everyone cracking on you, Russell.
That's what I was sharing. But I think what is amazing is that what you said was you looked at those windows and you took kind of what of a dimension of what you thought it would be like, and you turned that into a set of windows. Now, this is not the first set you made. You made the first set for your house or your shed out back or whatever.
Yeah, we had a lofted barn, and I turned it into a living quarters. And I said, a lofted barn with a gambrel roof has got to have quarter-moon windows.
Yes.
So I made those, and they were only like 24 inches by 24 inches with the arc. And I built jigs and everything and did that out of PVC board. It just heated up, and it turns into... Brenda, is your finger good? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I turned them into the windows, and they're actual functional windows. The windows that I built here are props, and you can pick the difference from the original windows and the props that I made. But I wanted them to resemble the original Amityville horror movie, and I'm tickled pink with how they turned out.
All right, so yes. He sent me a couple of pictures of them and everything, and I thought it was like, one thing that I think was fascinating as I saw the studio that he did for the original Dr. Paul Bearer set, and he duplicated that in his appliance store, so to speak, in the back. And I, from the first time that I walked in, and Richard always says, I'm not a woodworker. I just do, what I need to do. And he's so full of crap, his eyes are brown, because he is the very essence of a woodworker. If you saw that movie set that he made and all what he had to do to put that in there, and then you've got, what is it, the
laboratory.
Yeah, the laboratory. You put that in. Oh, but where's the one that you sit inside of it and you push a button and it moves or whatever? You were inside.
Oh, the Paul Tar booth.
Paul Tar booth. Yes, he made this
the Zoltar booth.
Yeah, he made this booth that he actually stands in. When you push the button, he moves around and says, like it's
Zoltar.
You remember in the old days, whenever you had put a quarter in, you push the button and the mechanical thing come on and did a little speech or whatever and gave you your fortune or whatever. Well, he made one of those for Paul Tar, and it's fascinating. It is absolutely great. So in his aspect, he says, I'm not a woodworker. He's full of crap, because he is. He is the essence of a woodworker. He can do. When he showed me the windows that he made, and now it's just all right. So here's what you have to do is you will go down to the bottom of the bar and it says share. See that down at the bottom?
He's telling you how to share, Richard.
Yep.
All right. So
Share
you just
screen.
you just click on there and say share screen. It's going to give you, see, now I have 3 screens hooked up, but it's going to give you an option of sharing. So you're going to click on whatever the one that you want to share. Do you see that?
Okay, yeah.
You should have one that looks exactly like the one that we're on right now, actually. So you click on that one. And then you will have the blue share box and click on that.
Okay.
And once you click on that, then you will need to go to that window and actually click on the pictures that you want to show us. And there you have it. See now, Paul, it took Paul months to figure this out.
Years.
Can you see that?
Months?
Yes.
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 Okay.
It took Paul years to figure this out. And Richard did it in how quick, Paul?
It's almost supernatural.
Almost.
All right. So, yes, we can see the pictures that you're sharing.
Okay.
And
That is a screenshot of the original movie house. And right up here, as you can see, are the quarter moon windows. Well, during the movie, when things started going badly, the windows, they would show an external view and they would have colors in the windows like eyes. And it was
Right.
just phenomenal how they did it.
right.
So then if we go up here, here's the original house. And they had taken the windows out. How pathetic
wow.
looking is that?
Yeah.
Oh, that stinks.
It
Yeah,
does.
that sucks.
Now
that's
let's go
cowards.
to, let's see here. Here is a picture of the guy holding one of the original windows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what's odd about this one is, you see how the glass is inlaid, and you're looking
Right.
at the exterior of the window?
right.
I had to do it in reverse because I wanted to make it a light box. So let me go to this one right here.
So did you actually make 5 pieces of glass, or did you use 1 piece?
One piece, and it was plexiglass.
That was plexiglass. Okay.
Because they have to be shipped to Indiana where they're going to do on-set location.
Right. Right.
And this is just a piece of 3/4 inch plywood before it inflated in price that I had just drawn the stencil and cut it out, and that was my template. So I made that, and then I made another one, and then I started framing them. And this is where it gets tricky. You guys are gonna love this part. You know how you can take bendable plywood and you
Yep.
glue it up and then you can shape it how you want?
Mm-hmm.
I just took 1x4s and I screwed them on, or I nailed them on and glued them. And
No
then
way.
I took 1 sheet of that real thin project board and I cut it and bent it, and it framed the inside. And then I bent another piece and put it on the outside,
Hmm.
glued it all together, and clamped it up, and it worked great.
So the stuff you skirted it with, was it like 1/8 inch plywood or something
Mhm.
like that? Or?
Yeah, it'd be 1/8 inch. Yeah, like
Yeah,
3 millimeter or whatever. 1/8 inch. Yeah.
It's that pink. It's pink on one side and wood grain on the other side, and it's only like $11.95. Of course, now it's $33.
Yeah.
You know, since it wasn't going to be an actual window and installed, I figured, you know, it would serve its purpose. And
No,
they have.
could you use a few more clamps than that? I think you are missing a few that should have been
Yeah.
in there.
There's not enough clamps on that.
Yeah.
Well,
you probably ran out.
I got to tell you what, the black handle ones I got up at Harbor Freight for $2.39 a piece.
Yep. I got
The
a
yellow DeWalt ones were $49 for a set of 4.
Yep.
I was like,
Right.
forget that.
Yep.
No, I have a bunch of. The only thing that I noticed is at the Harbor Freight, if you really needs to hold something tight, I mean, put the extra
Right.
pressure on, the Harbor Freight won't work. You need to buy the extra expensive ones. But if you just need a little bit, I have about, I think I got 15 of those Harbor Freight ones in my shop.
Look at my
Quarter.
collection here. Here at the bottom is the orange ones that I got at a garage sale. I got that one and that one and that one. And then I got a couple of just regular old spring clamps. I mean, that's a collection over years, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
you got
think
two
it's-
orange ones on top.
I think it's fantastic. I'm looking at this going like, wow.
Oh,
And
let's
he-
talk
yeah.
air compressors.
Yeah,
That air
he
compressor in the
says
corner?
he's not a woodworker. He's not a woodworker, by the way. He has no clue
I'm
as
a
to what
craft-
he's doing.
I don't have a clue. You're so funny. Oh, let's see here. After I did that, I caulked and painted them, but they looked way too new.
Oh wow. Those look awesome.
They do.
Wow.
Nice.
Don't
Those
they?
look
They
like you
look
stole them
I mean,
from. Yeah, they look like you stole them from Anderson Windows warehouse.
Yeah.
exactly.
Good
That
job.
was nice.
man.
I
Now,
know
the
what you did. You
plexiglass- the plexiglass goes on the outside, so the pieces of wood are on the inside.
You could
Oh.
do that.
Hold
If
on
it was
just one
Anderson
second.
Windows,
I
that'd be
hate to
vacuum
interrupt y'all, but somebody put out there David Roby, Robey, says going back to my hospital room. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye. Hope you're better.
Yeah, I hope you feel better, my friend. You were watching us from the hospital. I didn't know you were in the
Wow.
hospital, and I appreciate you watching us out there, my friend. So, God bless you. I hope you feel better and hope you get better. I don't know what's wrong and why you're in the hospital, but yeah, y'all see that post, right? David Roby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going about the hospital room. So,
See you later, Dave.
yeah. I hope you feel better. And I'm sorry, Richard. I just seen that and it just kind of like blew me away that he was actually watching the show. from the
No, I'm
hospital.
glad he found some enjoyment.
Yeah,
What a trooper.
pretty cool. Yeah, well,
God bless him.
I appreciate that. Come back when you feel better, and I hope and pray that you get better soon, my friend, David. So, all right, go ahead, Richard. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, that's important. By the way, Brenda, there's the back end of my new truck. It's above ground.
And dry. And dry.
Always a good thing.
Let me. Okay, that one's. Hang on. Okay, let's get into this. You ever try to do that? I'm sure everyone knows what Crackle Paint is, correct?
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's a pain in the ass to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There's so many layers on there, and it kept getting better and better and better with the layers that I was doing, and that was unintentional. But I started out with wood glue, and I painted on it real quick, wait for it to haze, and I just draw a big old glob of paint over it and hit it with a hairdryer, and it did okay. I tried white glue, and it did a lot better. But then my neighbor across the street had the actual Crackle Paint resin that you put on. And get this, the instructions were backwards. It said paint it first, then put the Crackle median on there. No, you got to do it in reverse. So I started working on it. And You can tell I've been working on it there, and I just watered down some black and white paint, and I just started working away, and I started getting better at it. But look at the layers. That is what really shocked me, is the layers were coming out.
That looks great. That really does. That looks like the paint has been on there 100 years.
Oh, it gets
Looks
better.
like my windows.
Yeah, isn't that? I mean, yeah, that looks really, really good. I mean, that. Wow, I'm amazed at that.
My wife was getting out of the shower. She said, "Have you seen my hair dryer?" And I was sitting there with her.
No, I haven't seen it on.
Dude, this is mine.
I got in trouble.
Was this your hair dryer? I'm sorry.
I did the exact same thing. One day I needed to dry something really quick, and I'm out there in the shop using, and my wife goes, I just went into the bathroom and looked for my hairdryer. It's not in there. Do you have any idea where it's at? And I'm going like, no, honey, I don't have any idea.
Meanwhile, you're burning it on the back of your hand while you're hiding it behind your back.
Exactly. I did that exact same thing.
I got better with it. Look at those big cracks down the bottom.
Wow, that looks cool.
I got in trouble. Your hand while you're hiding it behind your back.
Exactly. I did that exact thing. Wow, we're having a delay there for some reason. Wow, that was cool.
I got in trouble. Your hand while you're hiding it behind your back.
Exactly. I did that. Is that actually Richard, you, that's doing that?
No.
No.
I'll confess that was me.
Oh, sorry.
I switched over to Facebook, and it turned on. Facebook has a tendency of turning back on when you switch.
Just when you don't want it to.
Yes, because I've been monitoring all three, and that's why I don't monitor it. And I apologize.
That's all right. I was just sitting there. It was repeating everything I said in slow motion.
I'm muting out.
So, that is this what the windows look like now for the production, in other words?
Yeah, I had put the plexiglass in. The back one, I had done nothing else to it. This front one, I got some of that spray frosting for the glass, and I worked it, tried to make it look kind of old. And let's see here.
How'd that work on plexiglass?
It worked pretty well.
Really?
In fact, I had some acetone, get this, to wipe it clear because it was way too frosty. So it came out pretty awesome. I mean, and then, let me back up. You see on this side, I don't know if you can see my pointer, but you see where it's kind of yellow?
Yes, yes. I see what you're saying, yes.
Polyurethane spray can, before I put the glass in, I hit it several times with heavy coats and it turned it yellow.
Wow. Yeah, because white paint will, over the years, turn a yellow color. Yes. That's pretty cool.
I was tickled pink about that one. Tickled yellow.
People understand that a lot of white paint, for some reason, when the sun beats down on it, especially here in Florida, not so much in the northern states, but in Florida, you can paint something white, pure white, and after about 4 or 5 years, you will start to see it turn yellow for some reason.
Here's a shot where, if I zoom in, you can see I started putting LED strips in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Are those the multicolored ones?
I think you're fixing to find that out, Jim.
And then went down and got a scrap piece of wooden paneling and painted it black and then screwed it onto the back. And then these are feet just to hold it up in a stationary position. And then we did the lighting tests.
Oh, wow.
Yep, right there.
Isn't
I
that
love how
cool?
the frostedness worked.
That is
Yes.
awesome looking. Looks
That is awesome.
evil. Yes.
And this guy says he's not a woodworker.
No, he's a maker. That there's it encompasses
Yeah,
what
he's a maker. There you go. He's not a woodworker. He's a maker.
yes.
But even look at the, I think what's interesting about it is when you did the frosting on that, I'm looking at it as of right now, and look how the red, yes, look how it does onto the frosting that you put on there. That looks fantastic. That looks like really cool.
My wife wants to keep them now.
You said they were going in Indiana someplace. Is it up north?
Outside of Seymour, Indiana, in the farm area.
No, it's too far south.
Oh, wow. Look at that blue. Even the blue looks like cool as crap.
With that
Yeah.
frosting on there, it makes it look like an old window on a real cold night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
That's what it looks like.
Let's see here. Oh, here's the movie poster.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Wow. Go back to your thing. Go back. All right. So that, hold on. Hold your mouse up where it says Amityville Window, the white one. Go down, go down, go down where your mouse. I think it's one of those pictures that you clicked on before. Down. Nope. I want to see the whole, that one. Right there, right there, right there. Blow that
That's
one
the
up.
original one.
Yeah. And that's the original ones that came from the house in the Amityville horror movies, right?
That's the actual one that came from the real house.
Yes, that's what I said. So that's
Right.
the actual one that came from the real house in the Amityville horror show.
That is correct.
And I'm going to tell you, my friend, you can't tell. Look how the crinkled paint is on that. Look how the frosting is on that glass. Oh, man, it blows me away that that looks fantastic, the ones that you built. Wow.
Thank you. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
You see how they did a trim around the edge?
Yep, I see that.
All right, now I left that off because let me show you another picture.
Slacker.
Slacker.
Here's a shot of the movie. And they had it here, and it looked like they had vinyl siding, and it was going into the edge stripping.
Yeah, doesn't
Right.
it?
Yes, it does. Yes.
So I took a gamble. Turned out not to be a good gamble, but I felt like, for the movie we're doing, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're.
Well,
not
let me
gonna
show you
pay that
something.
much attention. Go back to the blue. A few of the color. Oh, where'd you get this from?
This is from the 2019 or 2016 Amityville: The Awakening. Now that was a major motion picture, but the
Jeez.
house was way too clean, and they didn't concentrate on the house being haunted. It was more of a possession of the tenant. So I love special effects. How they can make it look like it's a full-scale house,
Oh, yeah.
and they just built a section.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'd
I
love
saw
to be
that
one of those
myself.
guys.
I saw that for myself. I was in a movie, Wilder Napalm, that was created here in Lakeland, and it was about a guy that was up. Him and his brother were able to start fires with their thoughts, so to speak. And I got to be a privilege of being in the picture and also watch the picture being made. They used our fire trucks from our fire department. So because of our insurance purposes, they had to have somebody drive them. Anytime it had to be moved, we had to drive. One of us had to drive it. They couldn't drive it. So I was fortunate enough to watch a motion picture being made for real.
That's awesome.
And it is.
That's about
So
a
if
half
they
a
could-
million dollars worth of lumber there.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And you know what the funny part about it is? They don't, I mean, a budget on a movie. I mean, I'm somewhat agree that they have like limitations or whatever, but they made a lawnmower, one of these little lawnmowers that you drive or whatever. I can't describe it, but they made this lawnmower out of styrofoam so the guy could pick it up because he had, in other words, when he got to the point where he had supernatural strength, he could pick up the lawnmower and throw it. They made a lawnmower out of styrofoam and painted it, and it looked exactly like a lawnmower you could climb on and go mow your yard with.
Would have been cheaper just to buy the lawnmower.
Yeah, but the guy couldn't lift it. It would weigh too much.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You guys
I
want to
mean,
play a game?
I walked up to it, and the real thing that was sitting next to it, and I looked up and I said, "Oh, what? I have a couple of lawnmowers sitting here." I said, "That's pretty cool." And he goes, "No, one of them's real and one of them ain't." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, put your hand on that one and kind of like lift it a little bit." And it was totally styrofoam.
Yeah.
I want to play a little spooky game.
I want to play spooky game.
Yeah, we'll play
Sure.
spooky game.
Ooh.
Do you see anything weird?
See anything weird?
Uh-oh. Spooky game time.
Right in the center. Right in the
look.
center. In the
Almost
center
looks
of the-
like a face
center
or
of the
something.
two
Yeah,
windows.
look closer, guys. Look closer. Get up really close. You'll be able to see it better.
Okay, I get
There.
it.
Can you hear it?
The center of the two windows.
Yeah, like
There.
3 eyes and or a mouth and 2 eyes, right there.
Look at this silhouette.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
It's
That was
creeping
not
me out.
planned. That was
Wow.
not planned.
That does look pretty cool.
When I first saw that, I got a chill.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would you
Yeah,
like me
that
to?
does.
You know,
What?
everybody wants to be on the movie nowadays.
Oh my goodness. They're just dying to be in it, huh?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That freaked me out, guys. I was like, "That's a face. That's a little teeny tiny
Well, you know-
torso."
Yeah, you know why they put a fence around a graveyard, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because
Yes.
people are dying to get in.
Womp, 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 womp.
Yeah.
Now, let me debunk this for you.
Okay. Debunk away.
Come on.
You gonna turn the lights on?
We're waiting for
Oh.
one.
How those are reflected and the lighting hit everything. Those are just.
Isn't that-
What
I
is
didn't
that?
plan on it.
What are they?
Those are clamp-on lights with the silver bell housing,
Oh, wow.
and they showed up in that picture. If you look closely, there it is again, just the reflection.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
But when I did the
That-
black and white, I was like, "Whoa, what is that?"
That is what nightmares are made out of.
Someone's
Yeah,
telling
that
me
is
you better not do this. And then here I am in the studio trying to photograph these. And what I've come down to is the glass has to come out. And I have got to cut some green poster board, put in there, and then put the glass back so I don't get all of these reflections.
No
Oh, what
way.
pain.
Yeah, the glass
Ugh.
will be behind it. Because the way they told me they want to do it in post-production is they want to be able to create the colors, they want to be able to put somebody inside behind the window, like they're standing looking out. And because it's just screwed in place. There's nothing permanent about it. And on location, without the black cabinet, they can hold it like that guy did there.
Right.
So they're pretty much universal. Not for Universal Pictures, but but you know, for cropping and imagery. I mean, this is with the white LEDs on to try and cancel the glare, and it's just really not happening. So I've got a little bit more work to do, and then I'll shoot them on the green screen, and that'll save them from having to do it. And then I've got to build a little pallet and stick them on there and ship them up there.
There you go.
Yes.
So I'm pretty tickled about it. Materials and everything cost right at about $500 before the price increase.
Wow.
I did these back in February. And there you have it, guys. That's my story.
Wow. Awesome.
Yep.
That is cool. That is really cool. And
All right, now,
here's what I
how do
think
I-
about the neatest thing about all this is you originally created the set for your shed out back and put it on there. And then somehow somebody picked up on that from pictures and they asked you if you could replicate that. That is awesome.
Oh yeah, the power of the internet.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And Al's, I love Al's background, by the way, because that is exactly what that looks like.
Thank you. Even though it's not the authentic, the real one, I figured I'd do it just for the heck of it.
You know, that is though what he was replicating of. And when I saw, he asked me, I think the first time I had you on the show or whatever, when I asked you about those lights, and I said, those are them. And he goes, yeah, I made those and put them in the shed. And I went like, oh, those are awesome looking. And yeah, I knew exactly what they came from. Those windows are like, how do you want to put it? Notorious or whatever.
Iconic. They're iconic.
Iconic, yes. Iconic for the Amityville Horror Show, yes.
They are.
But I couldn't believe he put them in there on that shed he built out back. I think your son, you made it into a shed, but your son lived there for a while, right?
Yeah, and then he moved out, and I just recently sold it.
Yeah.
He had a lot of light.
Yeah.
I
He
think I had-
he didn't have any like horror things going on when he lived inside that with those windows up front.
No, but I would sit there and I put outlets up there, and I put some red lights up in there one night and lit them up. Somebody that was driving by saw them and went, and they sat there looking at
Hey,
it.
check those windows out, man.
I love freaking people out.
Oh no, that's great. That is great.
But I like making things. There was one time, I don't know if you remember Lost in Space, the TV show with Dr. Smith, the robot. Warning, warning,
Oh, yeah.
warning.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
well,
danger. It was
Danger
actually
Will
Danger Will Robinson, danger.
I built the airlock door with the little funny shaped upside down window in it. And I
Yes.
put it on a slider, and we put it into the Goodwill Haunted House. And I recently, about 2 years ago, gave it to Bruce Coulomb. And Bruce Coulomb builds DeLorean time machines over in Oviedo, Florida.
Wow.
And he had a B9 robot, and whenever he goes to these shows, he'll take the Jupiter 2-door that I made, put it behind the robot, and the robot will sit there and he'll hit the remote, warning, 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 all that stuff. So he's a really good guy. You ought to look him up if you want to learn how to build a DeLorean time machine. He does a phenomenal job. There's another guy by the name of Bob Mosley. He does a lot of prop automobiles, and he does a fantastic job. So I guess I just like, if I see something in a movie, it looks cool. The next thing I want to build, if they ever come down on lumber, is MASH, the 4077th.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love MASH. I
want to build the swamp door.
Yeah.
I like doors, so I'm going to build the swamp door.
Yeah, I watch a lot of the older movies on. There's 2 or 3 or 4 channels on. I have Spectrum cable, and there's 2 or 3 or 4 channels that have the older things like MASH and Gunsmoke and all those old movies back in the day. And I have, when I come out here in the shop, I have a TV in my shop. I'll turn that on and let it run, and it'll play all those old movies. Or I have actually had 3 TVs in my shop, I should say. So all 3 of them will run those old channels and Gunsmoke. And I saw, I'm trying to think of his name. Who was the crap? We won't even have to go there because I won't even remember. But he was Smokey and the Bandit.
Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds.
Yes.
He was actually started his career on Gunsmoke.
Yes, I see them episodes. Yep. I can't remember if he was on the Rifleman once too or not.
Yeah, he was on the Rifleman. Several of those old Westerns shows, Burt Reynolds was on there. And he was really prominent in Gunsmoke in the earlier days before his career started off. And anytime he was the guy that made the shoe, what do they call it? Blacksmith.
Blacksmith.
Yeah, he was the blacksmith on the show. And anytime that James Arnaz would or Matt Dillon would need to go somewhere and do something in some of the very early versions, he would go ask him. He goes, "Yeah, I got to go out here and collect this guy and everything." And he would go, "Well, Matt, do you want me to go with you?" And he'd go, "Yeah, go ahead and load it up." And so he'd go with him. So, but yeah, that's very interesting that Burt Reynolds, and then he came from Gunsmoke and did all the things like Smokey and the Bandit and all the other things he's good for. So,
Guy's Woodshop just said he was also on Perry Mason. He was on there quite a few times. Yeah.
Yep, Perry Mason. I will. The Big Valley. Do y'all remember the old show, The Big Valley?
Yep.
Batman, the guy that played Batman. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but the original
Bruce
Batman.
Wayne, we called him in the show Bruce Wayne, but I know who you mean. Yeah.
Adam West.
Yep. Adam West.
Adam West was in The Big Valley on a few of their episodes because my wife come walking in. I said, to the bedroom, and I said, "You know who that guy is?" And she goes, looked at him, and he was standing there talking. She goes, "No, I have no clue." And I said, "That's Batman." And she goes, "Do what?" I said, "That is," I didn't know his name at the time, but I said, "That is Adam West, Batman." And he was on here before he made his view into the Batman series. Like the pow, boom, bang, whenever they used to.
There's a little joke about Adam. Apparently, he was cremated after his death, and they took his ashes out to a field. And they were wondering if they put Adam's West ashes in a field, would they blow west? And somebody commented, "No, that was Bert's job."
Oh, okay. Paul, we lost you. Where'd you go, my friend?
Uh-oh.
He didn't like the joke.
No, he actually left before you commented
Yeah.
on the joke.
He bailed in anticipation of you telling that joke.
Yeah,
Oh, I hope I didn't offend him.
No.
You're not going to offend Paul. Sorry.
Nope.
no, not like that. Here's another good one. Y'all remember the Wild Wild West show, the original?
Yes.
Yep.
I used to love, and I saw Artemis Gordon, and I don't know what his screen name is, but his name was Artemis Gordon when he was on the Wild Wild West show. I've seen him.
There he is.
Robert
There he
Conrad?
is.
Or the
Yep.
other one? Yeah, Robert
There you
Conrad.
go. Yep, that was one of the shows that I've seen.
Big Valley, bum, ba, bum, bum, the
Yeah,
Big Valley.
I saw Artemis Gordon, which was in the Wild Wild West, and he's been on Gunsmoke. He's been on Bonanza. He was on like several of those shows before that he became Artemis Gordon, which was James West. And what was his real name? James West.
Robert Conrad?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Robert Conrad. Yeah.
Yep.
Robert
Okay.
Conrad and Ross Martin.
Yeah, Robert Conrad, and they were. If you go back, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see some of these people that we have seen in these characters, like James West. Wow, I used to love watching Wild Wild West.
He was awesome.
I mean, that was like awesome, but to see them, if you go back into some of the older shows, Lost in Space. What was the mother's name?
June Lockhart.
Yep.
She was in one of the old shows.
The Twilight Show? The
Gunsmoke.
Twilight Zone?
No, Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke?
Gunsmoke.
Wasn't
She was
she
in
also
the
in
old
Lassie?
Gunsmoke. Yes.
Lassie.
Huh?
She's in Lassie.
Yes, she was in Lassie too, but even before that, she was in Gunsmoke on a couple of episodes.
We used to love Wild Wild West so much. Two of my brothers, we'd be up in the rafters, up in the barn. We swung on baler twine. We didn't know any better. And two of them broke their arms on the buckboard.
My God.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. I mean, that I used to love. I mean, there is so many shows that
What's
I used
Richard
to
trying
watch.
to show us?
Huh?
What's Richard trying to show us?
Dr. Paul Bear in the Old West.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Was that a back in time thing? Or back to the future time thing?
Yeah.
No, that
But
was from the movie High Noon, Goodbye, Dr. Paul. I
Oh.
was in a ghost town, of course,
Oh.
and I interacted with the ghosts.
Yeah.
You mean
There you
you've
go.
never seen that one, Al?
No, honestly,
on,
I
Al.
haven't.
Oh my God! Not that it had Ivana Cadaver in it, but let me.
Oh
tell you
my
something.
goodness.
Ivana Cadaver.
I'm looking it up right now.
High Noon,
Yeah.
Goodbye, Dr. Paul.
Ivana, I want her kind of cadaver.
Yeah, she's on Facebook, but she doesn't. Y'all can look her up and try and talk to her, but it's somebody else doing the talking. So
Yeah.
don't even go there.
No,
You're gonna have a treat when you see that because it co-stars Butch Patrick, aka Eddie Munster.
Yeah, Eddie Munster. He's good friends, by the way, with Eddie Munster. And
Yeah, I was
You
going
know
to say,
what?
weren't you
It's-
buddies with them?
why don't, is there any way that you could talk to him and ask of him if he would be on the show?
You got any money?
By the way, Dr. Paul Bear and
No, I'm serious though. He wouldn't come on this show just for free for just.
The only thing he
like-
know, the only thing he knows about wood is he might say, "Well, I would, but."
However, comma.
Hey, Paul, I'm glad
But
you're back.
I just think it would be cool as crap if we could have him on the show.
As close as we're going to get is Dr. Paul Bear, and he did a Christmas special. And if you haven't seen
No,
it,
he's a pretty. He
Oh,
is
watch
a very cool guy.
He's
And
very
he
cool, very
does-
nice, very knowledgeable.
Yes, very nice, very knowledgeable. I follow him on Facebook. And what is your friend that does the
Michelle?
photography? Huh?
Michelle LaRose.
Yeah, Michelle Rose. Yes, and she's good friends with him and everything. And it would just be kind of like cool if he would say, you know what, for the hell of it, I'd do the Let's Talk Shop with Russ show for free.
That's your
Well,
homework assignment for tonight, Richard.
there you go.
Well, would you rather
tell
have
him that-
Butch or would you rather have Ivana?
Well, Ivana would be better. Yes. Yeah, I'd rather have Ivana. If y'all haven't seen some of those things that he has done with Ivana, he tries to get rid of her and she just keeps appearing back. And every time he turns around, like he'll take her to the graveyard and he'll run back to his hearse and drive away. And when he gets back, she's there. But she's hot. Hope my wife is not watching this. Sorry,
Go
man.
watch what I'm putting out in the YouTube chat. It's Richard Koon's channel. If it hasn't been put out there, I'm not certain. But awesome videos.
They are some awesome videos. There are some really fantastic. Yeah, Ivana.
There's some
And I told my wife, I was sitting there watching that one time, and I said, "Yeah, Ivana," and she goes, "You said you what?"
Yeah.
Get over here.
I went like, "No, that's her name, sweetheart. It's Ivana. It's not. I want her. It's Ivana."
That's why in the beginning of that video, I said, I want this, I want that, and I want a cadaver. And then that's when she comes in, somebody called my name.
Yes.
Hey, I got you. Okay, I can only read text.
If you want to see that one, I don't know if anybody heard that. I'm posting it out there.
Yes.
Hey, Russ,
Yeah.
I got to get going.
See
Yeah,
you
we're
later.
gonna
Take
get
care,
out of
bud.
here.
See you, Paul.
Talk to you
Yeah.
Hey,
later.
Paul.
It's
Okay.
Russ,
Good
Paul.
night, Paul. We're gonna cut out here ourselves, but good night, Paul. I
Night.
understand you have to go. Hey,
I
hey,
got one important question for Richard, though.
Yeah, Jim.
So, when your truck was floating through the Suez Canal and that big container ship tried to dodge it and got stuck, did you get in the lawsuit for that $900 million thing where they're suing the company, or did you sneak away fast enough that they didn't see it?
Jim, are you and Brenda married?
I'm waiting for Jim's picture to poof, go away.
Yeah. And I will mute and wait for my answer.
Funny thing about that whole situation is a friend of mine was down at the Hudson boat ramp and he said it's the cleanest it's ever been, and they've started
That's good.
maintaining it.
Well, sure now.
they start. Yeah.
Now you tell me.
The Pasco County's just about ready to start getting aggravated by Mitchell Law Firm.
Richard, I am so sorry, and I must excuse that asshole Jim Bashir's that's on
all
the
right.
show.
A couple months
sometimes,
ago, I'd been, irritated.
yeah,
but
sometimes
I'm
him and Brenda could become pains in the ass on the show.
Hey, what about
They
me?
just, they
A
just
month ago, I
Can't leave-
named
can't
it.
leave-
I cannot explain, or him and Brenda are the worst of them all. I swear.
Well,
I don't
let me
know
have
why I don't know why I keep them here. Actually,
But see, we do this, Richard, because we love you.
I know. I know. But let me have.
If
the
we
floor for
didn't, we'd
just a
sit
second.
here and do this. You know.
Let me take.
No, I know it's in jest.
Don't do this.
And that was the first thing that whenever I contacted Richard about being on the show, I had a cancellation, by the way. And Richard, I called him because he was on your show, Brenda. You and Matt's the other night commenting, and I said, "What a traitor! You're on this show and you're not even online." And I contacted him. I said, "Hey, Richard, those windows that you did, would you like to come on the show and show them off?" And he goes, "Well, yeah." I said, "Because somebody that I had, and I don't remember the asshole's name that canceled at last
What does he say
moment."
about me when I'm not on there?
Oh,
You don't
I can honestly say I've never called you an asshole.
He's
Why
got a
not?
lot more colorful things for you.
Yeah,
My mother-in-law calls me S-hole.
yeah. So,
Yes.
but anyway, but
That would be
whatever,
Spanish accent?
but I asked Richard. I said, "Would you like to come on the show and show off those windows?" And he went like, "Well, I wasn't planning on it." And I said, "Well, I think it'd be a pretty good show." And Richard is entertaining. I don't care what you say. I
Yes, he
could
is.
bring him on here to show doorknobs, and he would explain how to make a doorknob that would be just so obviously incredibly funny and smart that everybody would want to go out and buy a doorknob. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, Russ, did you know that he also cooks? And
yes, he does cook.
Oh, you guys should do a team up
I do.
on a cooking show.
Talk about a little bit about that because he does this on Facebook. Go ahead and talk about it a little bit since you brought that up, Al.
Oh,
Yeah. I saw him, and no, wait a second. Who are you talking to? Al or Richard? I'll read
I'm talking about. Thank you for bringing it up, Al. Richard, talk about your cooking little thing on Facebook.
Well, after a few drinks, I turn it on and, hey, I'm making such and such friends out there on Facebook, whatever. But
now that little grill that you built that out of what it was like the grill out back, the little one.
Tell me you didn't build it out of wood.
Wood and fire.
Yeah, it wouldn't be made out of wood. That's for damn sure.
are you talking about the fire pit?
Yeah, the fire pit. What'd you make that out of?
An old Weber grill and some blocks?
Yeah, there it is. The old Weber grill. Yeah, you made that out of the old Weber grill. Yes.
Oh, yeah. So I can do a fire pit out there, and when the coals burn down, I'll put the grate on there and go ahead and cook up a nice fire-flamed wood grilled steak. That's the best right there.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. I saw that. I was laughing my ass off when you showed it because I was like, that's just a little Weber grill he put out there around some rocks or whatever.
He's quite an inspiration.
Yeah.
But after I redid my kitchen and then COVID hit, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to me in restaurants, I'll judge a restaurant by on who delivers their food. And if it's delivered by a company called Cisco, that business is doing nothing but dressing up a menu, having cute little waitresses and serving that frozen, deep fried crap.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I started watching a lot of, get this, Chef Ramsay. And you know what? The guy doesn't lie. So I actually said, you know what? I'm just going to make it the way he makes it, and I'm going to try it. And I was floored by the flavors that my palate was. And I'm not talking about
Really?
wood palette, but the flavors were outrageous.
No, you're right. Ramsay is a damn good chef. Me and my wife have watched him. Now, he's an asshole as far as a chef when he does his shows and everything, but you're talking about Gordon Ramsay, right?
Well, he showed where they were going to reinvent the hamburger on one episode of Kitchen Nightmares. And he says, all we're going to do is put a little ketchup, some Dijon mustard, some shallots chopped finely, and knead it up in a ball, and then we're going to grill it. I said, okay, let me try that with meatloaf. Add 2 eggs, add some breadcrumbs in there, and then to give it a little bit of steak flavor, I started putting thyme in there, and then you fork it. You don't mash it like you're molding clay.
Hey,
And,
this is a child-friendly show, so quit talking about forking.
This
Well,
this is
Hey,
the
so we want to talk about how you love to toss my salad, so you know.
this is the roasting Richard part of the show. Yes, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
All right, roast away. But let me tell you something about the truck real quick. I never understood post-traumatic syndrome, but my golly, I went through it. Oh my God.
Oh, I can understand.
I had the truck towed back here to the house. And in the mornings, I would open up the garage door, and there it sat. And I'd go out there every morning, and it just stunk. It was pitiful.
Yeah.
But then I was dreaming that I was outside, and I walked down, and I got in it. And to move it 2 days later, you couldn't even turn the key. It had just corroded so bad. Well, in my dream, it cranked up, and I'm like, holy cow. Let me see if it drives. So I put it in reverse. Backed out of the driveway, and when I started going forward, of course, all the water started coming in the doors, and it got, right here, and this time it went over my head, and then, I woke up and I was sweating.
Oh my God.
But then Copart came and towed the truck off. It was done. I was dreaming again. I went outside, opened the garage door, went to the front of the garage door, and there's the truck, but it's backed up and it's running, and all 4 doors were open.
Were the lights flashing like this too?
No, it was just sitting there running, and I think it revved once or twice. But I sat there, Christine, the effect of Christine, and then the water was coming out of the truck because when we pulled it out, you opened up the doors and all the water came out. Mm-hmm. Well, it was at the base of the driveway, which is tilted down away from my house. Well, that water was running up the driveway towards me, circled my feet, and started swirling me around trying to drown me. I woke up sweating. And then I'm out on my back porch, and my pool's right there. And another dream I had, there's something out there, and I couldn't see it. Well, right about 7 o'clock, the sun starts to break to where you can start seeing some things. And I saw something sticking up in the water. And about 3 minutes later, it was light enough, and it was my truck in my pool, and it cranked up. The headlights came on, and the whole pool illuminated. And when it was running, it was underwater, going blah, 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 and I was like, "Oh,
come on!"
Through it. And finally, I bought that little red truck, and I hate it. But, it just...
Brenda, would you please lay this to rest? I mean, really? Would you please?
Oh, no, it's funny now.
I have a suggestion.
Every time we come on this damn show, Brenda's got to say something about the damn truck.
So I have a suggestion. So in place of, since he's already given this great story, in place of workshop confession, can we accept that as his workshop confession?
Yeah, that's definitely the workshop confession of the year.
Yes.
That's the grand McNally.
I need to quit watching movies because now it just affects my real life. I think the lid on my casket's going to be an Amityville window, so y'all can look in through it and see me, and then I'm going to scare the poop out of every one of you.
That's a good idea.
You know what? I think about the most great thing about this show and throughout the years is the people that I've got to meet.
Amen.
The people that have been on the show. I would have never met Richard had it not been. He actually, when I saw he did Dr. Paul Bearer, I reached out to him and said, "Hey, I play Santa. Would you like to have, or let's get together and do a Santa thing?" And we did, and him and I became friends. But it's all been a part of the show. I don't think I would have ever met Jim or Dixon or Brenda or Al or Paul Corliss or the many John Schaffner. All these people that I have met throughout the years, if it wasn't for this show. And I would just like to say one thing. I've had he's crying. I would just like to say one. Now you're going to make me cry. I would just like to say one thing. I am so very thankful for the fact that I have gotten to know so many people. And I will actually tell you, I reached out to John Schaffner. I know a lot of y'all know him, and I reached out to him and asked him how he was doing and everything. And he's having some health issues and some different things that's going on in his life. Katie Dotson, I reached out to her and asked her how she was doing and making sure that she's fine and everything. So it's not that I don't forget these people that have been on the show, and you're wondering sometimes why aren't they here? And I'm not sure what their health issues is going on or why they. I used to love to have Katie Dotson. Katie Dotson gave me more crap than Brenda ever could.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, and
It was the best crap you ever got, though.
Yeah, and John Schaffner, he was always just a fantastic person on the show. I enjoyed him being on here, and I missed them. And don't get me wrong, I do, without a shadow of a doubt, reach out to all those people that used to be on the show and talk to them. I'm going to say something that probably will hurt people's feelings, including Katie and John Schaffner and a few of those others, because I always reach out to them. You know, but the phone has two ways of communication. There's always the PM on the other side, if you get what I'm saying. And I understand these people are going through a lot of tough times, but in the same aspect, I'm always the one that's reaching out to them. And I'm kind of curious why they don't reach out to me. I'm just kind of curious about that. So,
Oh my God! Oh, that's why. Look at that. Look at that.
but I'm doing that on a serious note, though. You know, think about your friends. Think about your friends, Brenda, Al, Dixon, Peckerhead over there, Richard Koon, Jim Bashir's, but Paul Corliss and everybody that's on there. Think about your friends. Think about your friends that have meant so much to you out over the years. When is the last time? And I understand that it doesn't have to go both ways, but when is the last time you actually contacted them to ask them how they are doing? To talk to them, reach out to them. Friendship is a very special thing. I have so many people in my life that have been so influential in my life, that have made a difference in my life because they were my friends. And I think the biggest, saddest part about it is you reach out to them, but they don't reach back to you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't reach out to them all the time, because that's just the way you should do if you're a friend. But in the same aspect, I have always wondered why some of my closest, very wonderful friends haven't reached back to me. And so
But it's better to give than to receive. So,
Yeah, it is.
just
I
keep
mean,
going.
Brenda knows this without a shadow of a doubt. When she's been sick and said she couldn't be on the show, I have private messaged her on many occasions, said, "Hey, Brenda, you all right? You doing good? Hi, what's going on or whatever?" And I do that with a lot of my friends.
Yeah, you do. That's why we like you.
She had to block your number, didn't she?
I wrote back
She
once and
was-
said I'm dead.
She was telling me. Yeah.
I have had so many friends that I reach out to constantly, and it kind of hurts. It really does. It kind of hurts when you reach out to them.
It does
You
hurt.
haven't heard,
It does.
huh?
It does hurt. It does hurt. And I think every one of us here want to be contacted, as well as we should contact others too. And I
Yeah,
think that's a great point you bring up, Russ. Really is.
yeah, yeah. I reach out to them a lot of times. You know, like Katie Dotson, I've contacted her numerous of times, and ask her, "You want to come back on the show? We'd love to have you back," because that woman gave me hell. I mean, she literally gave me hell, but I loved her being on the show. That was so much fun to have her on the show and everything. Anyway, I guess I shouldn't bring this up, but it's just one of those things. It was, I talked to my wife about it the other day. It's just one of those things that just came up in my mind, and I was like, you know, I thank God for all my friends, for all y'all, all the people that are out there in the show watching tonight, and
Hello?
all the people that are here.
Hi,
I really thank God.
Alan, and tell you how I feel.
Hey, Richard, how you doing, man? How you
I'm
doing?
feeling pretty good,
So
there,
anyway,
buddy. You feeling okay?
But thank you for Aussie
Richard.
Man. Aussie Man.
God.
Can y'all some of y'all help me? Frenzy Wicked Truth. Who's out there? Who else is out there? Kevin
Leonard was
Corey.
out there. Ken's out there. Dan Enge's out there. Jimmy D's out there.
Frenzy Wicked Truth. Jim Bashir
Hey,
is out there. I
David
don't know
Roby?
who that guy is. He pops up in my feed all the time, and I'm trying to figure out how the hell does he get in here?
Aussie Man,
It's
Aussie Man.
Frenzy Wicked,
Yeah.
Alex is out there. Hello, Alex.
All Messy Workshop. No, that was from earlier.
I'm doing chat management for the show, Russ. That's why you see me out there all the time.
Yeah. Dan Inge Woodworking.
Guys Woodcraft Shop also was out there. And I'm just looking at YouTube.
Hey,
Dixon Hoffman is calling me.
How you doing, Russ? How you doing? Are you doing
Why are
okay?
you calling me, Dixon Hoffman?
Yeah, Dixon usually only calls his wife to have her
I just
bring a
was
drink
wondering how
down.
you're doing.
Yeah, Dixon. I looked for because I thought it was my wife. By the way, I am home alone for the weekend. By the way.
Check
Boy,
you
that's
out.
dangerous.
On Facebook?
Oh yeah, I'm at home. My wife is gone. She left last night.
Do
She's
you
gone
have one of
all day
them?
today, and she'll be gone all day tomorrow. Our granddaughter Audra is in a baseball. She plays baseball, and her team are really, really good. I'm talking about really good.
Do you have one of them
they-
life alert bracelets?
No,
My
Well, what if
God.
you fall and you can't get up?
well, I guess I just die right there.
No,
Well, I
no,
guess
just
we all have to just keep calling you, don't we?
that's right.
Yeah. So anyway, so she went to Clearwater, and she asked me if I wanted to go, and I said yes, but my back has been bothering me a lot. But so they are in Clearwater during tournaments, and they actually have posted the tournaments live on Facebook. So I've actually been able to watch my granddaughter Audra play some of these games. They're actually posting them on there live, and my wife said, why don't you go with us? And I said, well, you know, sometimes she needs a little time to be alone with her daughter and her granddaughter or whatever. And I said, you just go ahead, go spend some special moments in there. You know, I don't need to be there. I mean, I know they probably would want me there or whatever, but my point was just go and spend some special times with them. They got a motel. They're over there in Clearwater and doing these tournaments and everything. And I thought that was like, you know, that's really cool. She calls me about every friggin' 15 minutes to make sure I'm okay.
She wants to
Well,
make sure
actually,
you
I
haven't
told
fell and
her-
can't get up.
Actually, I told her the other day when she went to leave, and then I was looking at my watch, and I said, how long before your Ashley's going to be here to pick you up? And she goes, oh, she's supposed to be here about 3 or 3:30. And I said, okay, well, it's 3 o'clock. She hasn't here yet. And it's 3:15 and she hasn't here. And my wife looked at me and she goes, why the hell you keep on looking at your watch? And I said, because my girlfriend's supposed to come over just as soon as you leave.
Yeah.
And she,
Oh, you were with your girlfriend? Is that why you were late?
I swear to God, she started dying laughing. She just thought that was about the funniest thing. It is funny because I love my wife, but she is. You ain't right. You know that? You just ain't right.
Yeah, I know I'm not right. Oh,
Yeah,
you're not.
I ain't right. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Brenda, Al, my good friend Richard Koon. I appreciate you so very much.
Richard?
What? Yeah, what is that? We can't see it.
It's Ivana.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Oh, Ivana.
Since you're home alone,
Yeah. Oh, now I can see her. Yes, she is hot. Oh, sorry, Nancy.
Oops.
Hey, before we get off, I'm going to just go ahead and mention this on Facebook because we also talked about the ones on YouTube. On Facebook, Rick St. Louis was out there. Jim Russell, Dan. I'm going to say Dan Engie, okay? And,
It's Ingerbritton.
Ingebrigtsen. Yes, definitely.
Ingerbritton. Yes.
Jim Russell, Jeff Walsa, Gerald Vance from WV. Where's WV?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Yes, duh. Thank you. But anyway, I just wanted to say that real quick. Since we don't ever say who's on
Yes, we do have several people
on YouTube, Facebook.
from other. I get a restream report within 24 hours of this show, and our average is anywhere between 30 to 40 people that watch this show between Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Yeah, and on Twitch. Sorry to interrupt. I rescue Minpins. Hey Sid, how you doing? Lady Frenzy Wicked Truths out there. Michelle Maku.
Yep.
Raw Iro 16057, and then Saruzbi. Anyway,
yep.
I'll be quiet now. Sorry to interrupt.
So when you have an audience like we have, and I appreciate each and every one of y'all watching. Leonard Davis is out there, being here each week. I don't know why the hell you're here because
he's here for the beer.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell you're here, but I appreciate you being here each week. I appreciate that so very, very much. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Dixon. Thank you, Jim. And thank you, Paul. He ditched us at the last minute. I'm sorry that he had to go, but I appreciate it all. There's only one thing that I need to say, and that is if you're too darn busy to get out in your shop and make some sawdust, by God, you're just too darn busy. Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it so much.
And remember, you can't stay here and you can't go home because they don't want you.
Here, what do you say?
Yeah, where's Chris Ahern tonight, by the way?
He
He
couldn't
couldn't make it.
Yeah, connection problems.
Yeah.
Connection problems?
Yeah.
He's visiting relatives.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Good night, everybody. And you can't go home. Oh no! What is it that he says?
You can't stay here and you can't go home because they don't want you.
That's good enough.
But you can't.
That's good enough right there.
I got it better. Live long and prosper.